Good morning, gardening friends. It is, let's see, Thursday, February 11th at a little past 11 a.m. We have a couple of nice little updates for you here. Let's see, pardon me while I trip over everything in here. Not much on the lima bean, but it looks to me like we've got some flowers and maybe fruits trying to develop on the tomato plant. This would be year number 3 on an annual plant. The broom corn, which is really just kind of sitting there, not doing much. Chamomile, looking a little bit nicer. Growing slowly, but looks like it's growing. We've got the experimental planter with the roll and grow seeds. No sprouts that I can see just yet. But, let's see if I can find it again. Somewhere in this planter. Oh yeah, I went right past it there. This is my lettuce and greens planter, and I got one little sprout growing here. I have no idea which one that is, but I planted a whole bunch of different seeds, and we'll see what's popping. We've got the other planter, which is sort of in process. I've still got a little more to do, but we've got some chamomile, and we had basil, and the basil is still there. So we got to cut some of that down, and some other plants trying to grow in here now, apparently. Moving over, let's see if I can do this without getting dripped on. Basically referring to my hanging plant there as dripping. There. Over here we've got what amounts to, I think, the apartment mix in this planter. Can't remember now. I really should be labeling them, even though I'm documenting them on video. We've got another one of the original broom corn planters. You can see we get a nice blue sky now. And that sucker's way up there, but I think that stalk's actually dead, so I should probably cut it down to give energy to the others. We've got, let's see, marigold and what looks like probably more chamomile in there. And there's some other white flower that's popped up. We've got the tree, or bush, or whatever it's supposed to be, and after like a year now. Moving over, we have a little bit of excitement here. The memorial planter has a sprout. I'm a happy camper. Let's see what that one turns out to be. I'm hoping it's not just a weed that flew over here. That is honestly a possibility. We've got the big marigold planter with some, I think that's a alyssum in there. The plant I still can't identify. Nobody's responded yet. Of course, it probably would help if I posted these videos a little bit more frequently. We've got the second generation mutant zinnia, and there's the parent out there, which I'll cover in a minute. More marigold, a branch off of that tomato plant, which is holding up rather nicely here. Looks like more chamomile with a broom corn stalk in the middle. This one I think was supposed to be, yeah, more of the second generation on the mutant zinnia. Nothing in that pot. I did get something in this pot. I got a couple there. We've got lemon cucumber, not doing anything. We've got the We've got the carnation in stock, which I seriously overplanted the seeds. They must have just clumped together when I dropped them in there. But we'll see what that turns into. Apartment mix. Another one of these second generation mutant zinnia things. Sugar baby watermelon, no progress. 2 kabocha squash plants, which are about ready for me to transplant them. Another on the apartment mix. And the hanging planter. This is not related to the other red hanging planters. This is just one that I rescued out of the bushes. Somebody was getting rid of it. We've got these nice red flowers in there now. Anybody knows what this is? I would love to know. So that's it for inside. Okay, so we've got the mutant zinnia. And let me see if I can pull this down and you can see it looks kind of like it burned. So I'm not sure what happened there. I'm hoping it's okay. There's another one up here, which is still mostly in bud form, though it's starting to kind of pop. So maybe the next couple of days. We have had a lot of rain. Maybe that confused it. Uh-oh, it's not going up like it did before. Hope I didn't damage it. I think we're okay. And we've got the red planters. And let me see if I can't do this a little differently. I am now standing on my tippy toes trying to get this shot. instead of trying to do it off of a step stool. Just that much more convenient, but you can see what the seedlings are looking like. And here's another planter. I'll just do 2 of them this time. I won't necessarily show you all of them, but let's see if we can't get the top of that. You can see not a whole heck of a lot going on with this one, but that's probably because it's under the shade. So this is really turning into a key part of getting these to grow. Good morning, gardening friends. It's, let's see, the February 20th, Monday, at about 9:30 a.m. I'm just going to try and do sort of a quicker update this time because I've got enough video probably for 2 more updates and I still haven't posted them. So my apologies for that, but I'll get to it soon. So anyway, let's see, we've got the lima bean. Let's see if I can get in here. I thought I'd seen this morning I managed to spend quite a bit of time working on my garden. If you look really carefully in there, I wonder if I can turn this around. I don't know how well you can see it, but I can kind of see some pods. Let me see if I can steady it a bit. Some pods kind of developing, so we may have some more lima beans coming. The tomato plant has really kind of suffered a bit. I'm not sure exactly what part of it was. Last Friday the gardeners were out, and while I was fighting off the flu, I suspect what happened is they used their leaf blowers, which are fairly powerful, and they managed to knock this one off and down into the plantings down below. I actually found it, even though it's got a stick of bamboo in the middle of it, I actually managed to find it standing upright. So I think what happened is they knocked it off the wall, they weren't sure what to do, and they just stood it up right there. That's that. The broom corn I've cleaned up a bit, pulled out a lot of the dead leaves. The chamomile's growing nicely. No real progress yet on this experimental planter, though we do have some lettuce. We've got one here, we've got another one growing there, we got something in the back. Oh, and I just spotted this one over here. So we got something growing there. This will be interesting to enjoy some fancy salad greens when that's all done. We've got the remaining basil, thank you. Basil planter. I can just hear you out on internet land. So there's that. I'm going to clean that up eventually, pull the rest of the basil out, because I have one more basil plant here. I can kind of restart from that. We've got the garden mix, the apartment mix going nicely between there's a lot of broom corn here. There's what looks like marigold in there, and probably somewhere in this mix there's a couple back here which might actually be the tall zinnias. I'm kind of not going around and coming back this time. I'm doing them all at once. Here's the kabocha squash. Here is, I forget, I think this is just another garden mix planter. I see a couple of marigold in here. I have to look back at the videos to figure out what I put in there. Sugar baby watermelon, nothing yet. We've got one of the tall zinnia pots, nothing in it. More broom corn. I cut out the tallest one. I saved the seeds. That'll be good for more, like the apartment mix here, where I've got broom corn as one of the 3 components. We've got the carnation in stock, doing okay there. You can see that it's just like seriously overplanted. They just clustered together. We've got marigold with what looks like more chamomile in there. So I'll have to figure out how much marigold and how much chamomile to keep, but I've done some more cleaning there. We've got the tree / bush, whatever that one is supposed to be. I had 2 of the tall zinnias in this pot. I've left that one there, and I took the other one and moved it over here, so they're in separate pots. Got the lemon cucumber with nothing in it yet. I mean, there's seeds, but we've got more of what looks like chamomile with the stalk of broom corn in the middle. We've got the memorial planter, which appears to now have 2 seedlings in it. So, but they're right next to each other, so I'm not sure what to do there. We've got the other tomato, which is from the branch from the other. We've got this new tomato planter with a branch from the original tomato plant. It seems to be doing better than the original tomato plant. We've got the big marigold and alyssum planter. I have now transplanted today. All of this transplanting I've done has been today. Tall zinnia from a smaller pot to a larger pot. That's the best tall zinnia I've got right now. We've got more marigold and that plant back there, which I still haven't identified. Then if I swing around, sorry, don't mean to make you dizzy, we've got the hanging planter with these interesting sort of, I can give you sort of the reddish pods there, which then bloom into these flowers. So if somebody wants to identify that for me, that would be absolutely wonderful. And we'll go take a look outside now. So here's the original tall zinnia plant. Unfortunately, we've had a couple of developments here. That one bloom at the top just doesn't look like it's going to do much. And the other one I've had to kind of support because in a minor windstorm, it looks like the branch just got knocked off the main plant, and I tried to sort of re-support it in hopes that it would survive, but you can see the bud up there just isn't looking very good. Then we have all the hanging planters, and that one really isn't showing a whole lot. Oh, I just saw a hummingbird fly by. And you can even see down here, this is just not looking real good. But if I go across, we do have one that's looking better. This has got some calendula in it, and I've got one little bud, one flower that has popped here, which makes me really happy, so that's doing well. But that's about the best one I've got. I'll show you another here, not so great. And then come over here, got another calendula which is surviving. So let's see if we find any buds on here. I'm sure there's a bud starting to develop right there. So that'll pop eventually. So these two are doing nicely. The rest of them will kind of have something kind of like that. Just a little something sticking out the bottom that isn't doing much. I got to figure out how to do a successful transplant when these things have already been up for a while. And at this point it looks like calendula is the only thing that really survives, except on the back side of the building the stock are doing a bit better than I expected. They don't get as much sun, maybe that's it. Maybe they're getting burned by too much sun on the front side of the building, so on the back side they're doing better. Got another calendula here, doing nicely. Let me work my way around here. And you can see, I mean, I've tried transplants and things, just not working. But here's another stock that's just looking pretty spindly. Pretty much dead. Don't know, maybe I'll leave it in there, we'll see what happens. That's it for today. I don't think I'm going to do the north courtyard. Not a whole lot of developments there. Oh, for those that were wondering, I just wanted to show you, this is my sort of blind attempt at shooting the flowers in the pot in the hanging planter out by the office. So that is, to give you perspective. Oops, almost tripped myself. That's this one here.